Is this your first time in Moscow? And if so, what are your thoughts on the city thus far?
Yes, this is the first time I've been in Moscow, and I'm very cross with myself that I haven't been here before. Not that I wouldn't have wanted to come, I have always wanted to come, but this opportunity came up, and I'm absolutely amazed. I can't believe the size of Moscow, how clean everything is, how beautiful the roads are and wide, and whoever planned the city must have been very, very smart. And the buildings, you know, are reminiscent of ancient Rome. You know, the images or pictures we have of Rome. And I think the whole world should know more about Moscow. I mean, this is completely wrong. You know, we are given to understand that Moscow is this or that and this and that, but in fact, it's actually quite wonderful. And what's really interesting for me, the first thing I noticed is small children and women walking about everywhere, in the gardens, in the parks, completely, apparently very safe and happy. And, you know, that image will stay with me, you know, forever.
Thank you so much. The second question is a little bit more political. How would you characterize your son Elon's relationship with President Trump at this point in time?
Well, you know, Elon is with Trump and the new administration. They took over a somewhat broken United States, broken by the previous administration, with intent, evil intent. And they've had 5 months at least of intense repair work and removing all the spurious opposition, all the crazies and so on. And so they've been under a lot of stress. And recently a new bill was put out, and Elon, still in the let's get everything right mode, he said, no, we must not include in such a bill more of this Democrat stupid schemes and money for them. It's not right. But unfortunately, he doesn't realize that in order to get their votes in the Senate and the Congress, Trump has to do that and give it in order to take something, you have to give. And so they had an argument about that. And being as they all suffering from a bit of PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder of the last few months, you know, they started hitting out at each other. They're the only two people left in the arena, Trump and Elon, and all they were used to was fighting with the opposition. And so they took to each other, which is understandable. It happens in marriages, it happens in partnerships, it happens a lot, and people have to understand that. At the moment, Elon is having second thoughts that he's not a great politician. He's learning. He's a great tech innovator and so forth. But his politics is as I've said before, is a swimming pool with no bottom. It's a swimming pool with no sides. So when you're in a swimming pool of politics, you've got really nowhere to go. And he doesn't realize that. He wants it. Elon's ideas should all make sense, and it's very hard to make sense of politics. Nobody's ever managed to do that. And so at the moment, Elon is inclined to say that he's made a mistake. And Trump, unfortunately, said, I don't want to talk to you, which is bad because if it actually adds credibility to Elon's argument if Trump says he's not prepared to talk to Elon. If Trump is right, he should be saying to Elon, come back, we'll explain to you the best we can, and we'll see where you feel unhappy, and we'll see what we can do about it to make you feel better. That's what should be happening, and I'm sure it will happen in the next few days.
What is the importance of the Forum of the Future 2050? Which are you here in Russia to speak about?
Well, I've been invited by some very interesting people who contacted me and said, we want to have a discussion about the future, and how could a person not be interested in something like that? So I said, yes, I'll most certainly try and get here. And as soon as I said, yes, I'll try and get here. If you tell me how to get here, I'll get here. And then all of a sudden, everybody made it very easy for me to get here. So that's rather nice. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting people. I mean, in my experience, to my mind, the Russians are way up there as among the world's most intelligent people. So it's crazy not to know what they are about. The rest of the world in much of the rest of the world, the people have become a bit like sheep. And so many places boring to go and see that place. But I don't think the Russians are like that. I think they're all still very much thinking people.